All right, it's time to put away those buns of steel tapes and listen up. Our 2 News fitness expert, Wes Cole, is here to show us some great butt exercises that you can do right in your living room.
Absolutely. This is one of the most common questions I get, and we're going to dedicate a whole segment today.
You've got a lot of ladies listening right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, the first one is the goblet squat.
Well, this is a great exercise that I do for a lot of my new clients. You know, we've talked about squat before, how effective it is, how important it is for overall muscular growth. But sometimes the squat can be a little bit difficult to teach. Beth, come on out here. The cool thing about the goblet squat is you're actually placing the weight in front of you, so it helps counterbalance. Go ahead and put it a little bit closer on your chest, Beth. And what that does is it allows her to basically come back on her heels more, poke her butt out a little bit more, and go deeper. Oftentimes when people do squats, when they first start, they feel, especially if the bar's back behind their back, they feel a little wobbly. Try this 3 or 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. You can do a little bit heavier weight. Beth is a little bit strong for this, but like I said, kind of get the technique down. But this is a great exercise. Not only work the butt, but kind of introduce you to the squat, one of the most effective exercises you can do. Think you want a few more, Beth? All right.
Okay, the next one is the Bulgarian split squat.
This exercise is probably the most hated exercise at my gym. I mean, I cannot describe to you how many times people just go, oh my gosh. And I didn't come up with the name. I don't know where they came up with the name. Kyle's going to demonstrate it for us right here. But this exercise is great. It's one of the best hamstring and glute builders that I can think of. 3 or 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. You can add weight, but you'll probably realize that you don't really need it. Make sure your knee almost comes down to the ground, almost like kisses the ground. And like I said, it's a great butt exercise, but be warned, if you do too many, I mean, you're going to feel it. You're going to be walking real funny the next day. So make sure you're real careful. I mean, no exercise will make you sore than this. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it.
And a balance too, like balance.
You know, I've talked before about unilateral exercise, single leg exercise. In most sports, life occurs on one leg at a time, when you're running. So this is great for people that are in tennis or in running or in sports.
Both sides.
Absolutely.
Okay, next one, speed step-ups.
Well, this is actually a favorite exercise from Coach Tom Cross from University of Tulsa. Beth, come on out here. This is a great exercise. Kyle, go ahead and support right here and just kind of squat down so they can see. There we go. And what Beth's doing right here is she's moving real quick. She's actually moving her arms like she's running. And, of course, you want to get both sides, but not only will this really work your glutes and your hamstrings, but also it's a great cardio exercise, too. Of course, you'd want to do one. She's only demonstrating one side right now, but you want to do both sides. That's good, Beth. You can go ahead and stop.
We're wearing them out today.
But remember, there's a couple ways you can recruit those high-threshold motor units. You can lift real heavy or you can move fast. So this is a great exercise that if your knees are kind of finicky a little bit on lifting real heavy, you can always move quicker, and that's another way to recruit those white muscle fibers and really get some tone in there.
Okay, the next one to get us buns of steel, you say just cardio.
It's not real fancy, and it's a little bit overdone. Trainers are always saying do cardio, but a lot of women, unlike men, a lot of women they want to reduce the size of their thighs and their butt. And if you want that, you have to look at the athletes that are the leanest. You look at long distance runners. Our body adapts by the certain activity that we do. It is metabolically more efficient for there to be a thin, lean, streamlined 140, 150 pound runner than there is to be a big, there's a reason why marathon runners, they don't look like bodybuilders. So if you want to get lean, you have to do the activities that elicit the most adaptation for getting lean. 30 to 45 minutes on cardio, cycling, running, anything you want. I guarantee it'll really streamline you. And you'll like it.
You ready for that swimsuit?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get to one of our questions from our viewers. This one's from David. You say cardio doesn't build muscle, but my legs look a little bigger since I've started cycling and running. Isn't this muscle?
This is actually very common, especially if you've been off cardio for a while and you've started back on. The swelling that you're actually seeing isn't necessarily so much muscle. It's basically an increase in your glycogen loads are kind of starting to expand. It's an increase in capillary density. Basically, the fluid in your muscles are getting a little bit bigger. It will taper off after a while. So it's not going to just keep getting bigger and bigger, a lot of women's. So it's not like weight training. Your legs won't keep growing. You can build muscle doing cardio, running and cycling and stuff, but you'll have to maybe hit some hills, maybe do some sprints. But usually moderate cycling or light jogging, running, it usually recruits such small intermediate fibers that you're not going to see a ton of growth traditionally. But like I said, some things, you can kind of tweak a little bit. Like I said, if you're doing cardio and you want to kind of build some muscle a little bit, just maybe hit some hills or something like that.
All right, good advice. If you have a question that you would like Wes to answer, just go to the weekend morning section of our website, kjrh.com, click on the Habitual Health link, or give Wes a call, 918-749-0960, or visit his gym on 46th, just east of Sheridan.